Here at Probably Disney, I'm all about analyzing Disney park news, reports, announcements, and changes, most of which comes from Walt Disney Imagineering. And that is why today, with so many massive projects underway at Disney World, Disneyland, and beyond, I'm going to spotlight some recent and revealing comments from what the man in charge of Imagineering and all of its departments had to say. So, the president and chief creative officer at Walt Disney Imagineering is Bruce Vaughn, and he recently talked with Lou Mangello from WDW Radio, and the interview was shockingly conversational and genuine. No Disney speak or polished script here, and while listening, I found myself jotting down notes like crazy because there are quite a few reveals and insight into his leadership and Imagineering philosophy that I think Disney park fans are going to find interesting, especially at this point in time. For instance, he addresses how he views change and fans' reaction to change in the parks, as well as what he's bringing back to Imagineering, his take on Disneyland's Walt Disney A Magical Life, a warning about concept art, and so much more. But another reason I think you need to hear these comments is because, for the most part, I think they'll make you feel a little more confident about the direction of Imagineering right now, and what he had to say may be one of the best windows we've had yet into the mindset and priorities of this division of the company as they're diving headfirst into this building blitz. And it's always good to hear from the person behind the title anyway. So you are watching Probably at Disney, and today we are going to talk about the latest and surprising comments from the President and Chief Creative Officer of Walt Disney Imagineering, Bruce Vaughn. Now, for a little background information, you should know that Vaughn first joined Imagineering in 1993, and he left literally the day that Shanghai Disneyland opened in 2016. However, he was brought back to Imagineering by Disney Parks and Experiences chairman Josh D'Amaro, and relatively recently, it was only in 2023, and after he had been gone for 7 years. During that time, he served as the CEO of Dreamscape Immersive, which had to do with virtual reality, and he also worked with Airbnb. Now, Bruce and Lou cover a lot of ground in a short time during their talk, and some topics kind of overlapped, so I organized my notes into categories or sections in order to better share them with you. Also, I'm not always going to be quoting Bruce directly. I will paraphrase at certain points, so to get the full context and his full quotes, please go check out WDW Radio. I'll be sure to share a link in the description of this video. But with that being said, let's get into it and find out what the head of Imagineering had to say. And the first bit of info, in which I found really interesting, is that many current Imagineers are actually new hires. So according to Bruce Vaughn, when he came back to Imagineering, he found that many of the Imagineers had only been at Disney for about 5 years or so, meaning they likely joined during the pandemic period. Furthermore, he acknowledged they probably didn't have the sense of the history or culture, as it's difficult to have a shared culture due to COVID restrictions. And I assume, especially after so many seasoned Imagineers had left the company during COVID and under Bob Chapek. I think the fact that so many Imagineers came to their positions under unique and unprecedented circumstances is something maybe we don't consider enough, and it may explain a few issues and complaints fans have had in recent years. And I think it's incredibly encouraging to hear that Vaughn is looking to fill in those gaps. In fact, a few other things he mentioned throughout the interview that he's actively bringing back to Imagineering right now is the Illusions Lab, which, true to its name, specialized in illusions and special effects. He's also brought back a number of those retired Imagineers who can mentor and teach, like Joe Rohde, for instance, even though he did note that it is the new generation of Imagineers that are working on upcoming projects. Vaughn also admitted the one thing he didn't like when he came back was a bit of a sense of victim. Now, he didn't expound on this too much or why that was even there. So there is some context lacking, and understandably so. But he did say that he has conveyed that there is no bad guy. Power is something you give, no one has power over you. And right after this, he shared that Imagineering is going to have a seat at the table, but he also believes in being a team player and in integration and appreciating why decisions are made. He also expects Imagineering leaders to show up at that table and to talk it through. So just what the details are and what it was like during his absence, we can only speculate. But during this part of the interview, he also assured listeners that Imagineering's budgets are not being cut. However, that doesn't mean that less money or less time is going to equal a poor product. In fact, he dove into why he thinks constraints are a gift creatively, as they can bring about the best design. And I'm sure his no victim mentality is key to that. The second reveal is that, and I quote, "This is one of the most amazing times in Imagineering history." When talking about Josh D'Amaro bringing him back to Imagineering, Vaughn said that D'Amaro referred to this era, the one that has just begun, as one of the most amazing times in Imagineering history. So I think that's promising and a sign that Disney truly meant what they said about all their park investments. And the fact that Vaughn is likely to appear at Destination D23 also has me excited because, well, D23 in Anaheim last year was the big event with all of the announcements. This year's D23 is where Vaughn can dig into the substance and details of what's being worked on for this unprecedented moment for the company. The third reveal. The head of Imagineering is a Star Wars fan and was a Star Wars fan first. It was only during his Disney orientation, when he was asked about his favorite attraction, that Disney realized he had never been to a Disney park and he was well into his 20s. And this was surprising to me, they flew him to Disney World, not Disneyland, and they gave him a list of must-do experience so he could get an essence of the parks and what it is that Imagineering does. But his lack of familiarity, he says, has been a bit of a benefit in that it allows him to better stand in the guest's shoes. So since he didn't grow up with the parks or Imagineering, he said it was seeing Star Wars when he was 12 that made him want to be a creator and ultimately led him to Imagineering. But what I found especially intriguing about this is that Vaughn left Disney before Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened in 2019. Therefore, the current head of Imagineering hasn't overseen the rollout of a Star Wars park experience, and that includes the Star Cruiser, which opened in 2022 and a year before he returned. And personally, as someone who hasn't felt that Galaxy's Edge or the Star Cruiser fully captured that original Star Wars magic, except for Rise of the Resistance, of course, maybe with Bruce, we'll get not only more Star Wars in the parks, but potentially another level and direction. And who knows, maybe Star Wars will get bumped up in terms of being a priority for the Disney parks. During the interview, Bruce shared what sounds like his Imagineering philosophy, and that is that emotion is Imagineering's product. He said that through design, you can bring out the best of people and the best kind of emotions. And therefore, there is something noble about what they do when they do it right. And I completely agree. I think this quote goes a long way in explaining why we care so much about what Imagineering is doing and working on. And maybe this is just my opinion, but I love that he emphasized emotion as being the main product and not technology. I feel like too much attention in recent years has gone on Imagineering and Disney trying to be a tech company, which I know it kind of is, but emphasizing and focusing on tech is just so soulless. Tech should be used to create experiences that evoke those emotions, not be the draw all by itself. And so I was personally thrilled to hear this from him. Moving along here, the next reveal was Vaughn's take on Walt Disney A Magical Life, which opened last month at Disneyland. You all know my review of Walt Disney A Magical Life, so I don't need to go into that here. But Vaughn made some points about the experience, which I do think are worth sharing. First of all, it was already underway when he returned, but he feels it's an important source of inspiration because it reflects Walt's spirit, which was never to rest on your laurels. So he sees it as a great reminder for Imagineers and Imagineering, and this was a great point. He said it's kind of incredible that a 100-year-old company is still honoring its founder. That is rare. So while I may have a few qualms with the show, I can't argue with Bruce that its impact and message isn't going to have a positive and significant impact not only on guests, but Disney creatives as well. Okay, next we need to talk about what he had to say about how guests respond to changes in the parks. And not gonna lie, this answer also impressed me because Vaughn didn't recite a quote or give us Disney speak about moving forward or how the parks will never be finished. Instead, he told us a story from his early days where at Imagineering, he moved a churro cart at Disneyland and people just freaked out. But instead of condemning that or even making fun of guests, he explained why he gets it. It's ritual, he said, something he also treasures in his personal life. And that comes from a place of passion, mostly, and it's mostly coming from a good place. He allowed that you can love new things and want new things, but also your rituals too. Both can actually be true. Now, while he didn't talk about Magic Kingdom's Frontierland and the Rivers of America, he did say that the hope with all the coming park changes is to ultimately deliver something better, but in its own way. And in chatting about changes, he also touched on concept art, which you know is one of my favorite things. But he warned that while people want to get visions of what Disney is doing, early phases of attractions and lands are not for the faint of heart, and he explained that they're gonna change a lot. You can't fall in love with something, and if anything, in the artwork and ideas they share, the goal is to maintain the emotional impact of what's being shown and the feelings it produces, saying, just go with us. Now, while I get what he's saying here, I do think that Universal changed public expectations when it comes to concept art, as Epic Universe's concept art is hardly distinguishable from the finished product. It was a promise of what was coming, not just an idea of a project's emotional impact. And that got a lot of respect and appreciation from the theme park community. I wonder if these two differing approaches to concept art may be due to the differences between Disney and Universal's creative organization, as I would think with Universal being smaller, it's a bit more streamlined and they can commit to things earlier. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. I think it's an intriguing conversation. But that is some of the highlights from this refreshingly conversational interview with Imagineering CCO Bruce Vaughn, who again, I'm sure we'll be seeing and hearing from at Destination D23, and who's overseeing a huge portfolio of projects from all the lands and attractions in the works for Disney World and Disneyland, to new ships for Disney Cruise Line, expansions and new additions coming to the overseas parks, and of course, Disneyland Abu Dhabi. And like I said, I found his appreciation for old school Imagineering, his philosophy, and even what he had to say about changes and what he's bringing back to Imagineering culture to be really solid, honest, and promising. But I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts about this young class of Imagineers? About having old Imagineers serve as mentors and how he addressed changes in the parks and concept art. Please do share your thoughts in the comments and check out the full interview at WDW Radio. And if you enjoyed today's video at all and also love Disney Park news and analysis, I would so appreciate if you would hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and join me to see what Disney rolls out next. But regardless, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I hope you have a magical day.